Do you know that feeling when you go searching for your get up and go and you can't find it because it's already got up and left? That's me today. Yeah, I got the lurgey. So you may have noticed the lack of content over the weekend. The reason for that is I didn't do anything, which is a shame because yesterday was Julia's birthday and the family went out for a wander down Clevedon Beach and a meal out, and they had a great time. But without me, basically, Emma had her operation cancelled last week because she had this. Whether she had it quite the same as me, I don't know. But it started off on Friday with a bit of a sniffle, a bit of a tickle. You coming up? Come on. Come on. Up you come. Yeah, a bit of a tickle. By Saturday, it had knocked me for 6, and Sunday, today's Monday, yeah, morning world, welcome to Monday 17th of July, and I don't feel like doing anything still. Unfortunately, we've got a really busy weekend coming up, and whether I want to do it or not, it's got to be done. One of the tasks, I've got to clean our yard up. I've got to make some space because we're going to have some traffic here the weekend, and if it's wet, I need a plan B. Okay, that's all the bits I need for that. Dave's back off holiday, although he ain't very well either. He spent the last week feeling poorly. What was it he said to me? How many times can you go on holiday and drink as much as you want and eat as much as you want and come back like 12 pounds lighter than when you went? He's got ticky tummy. I won't go into detail, but yeah, that's going to have to come off. Little job for later on, perhaps. So, Dave's in this afternoon. We're going to fit the one loo. I can't make up my mind yet whether I'm going to put it there or there. Because for the beginning, we're not having a cubicle in here. So, it doesn't really matter which side it goes. It's going to go one or the other. One or the other. But, yeah, so water pipe, connectors, fittings, waste, all that's there. Toilets in the shed down there. I have got a base unit to put a sink in over here, but the base unit was given to me by a good friend, but there is a question mark over one of the feet. So we'll have a look at that later on. Maybe we'll put that in this week. And hopefully Sparks is coming back this week. We can put the consumer unit in, all the switching, the hot water, sockets, That's an isolator for the heater. Switch, yeah, will be kind of, this needs to be finished this week. This is going to get used end of this week and the weekend, so it needs to be done. So whether we get the skirting on and that, be nice, but not essential. So flushing loo, running water, lights, that's the things we need to get finished. Anyway, I spent an hour and a half this morning trying to sort out a big cherry picker for the tree team. They've got a Gloucester now to fetch it, but it took me 3 hours on the phone of messing around backwards and forwards trying to work out how we're going to do this thing. So if you saw the video the other day of the ash tree that was split over Dursley Way and the road had been shut, well, apparently the road wasn't shut properly. I thought it had, but it wasn't. So traffic is using it again. It was quite dangerous, so I've had to ring Streetworks this morning and get the road shut again properly, which they've now done, even though we had to put all the signs up for them. The guys have gone to Gloucester to get this big 25-metre cherry picker, so we'll see what's going on this afternoon, but maybe we'll go over there later on and I'll show you that machine in action. So I just hope this wind doesn't get any windier. Right, I need to move that, I need to move that, I want to move that, I want to get all that shifted over there, that there's got to be moved, that there's got to be moved. General tidy up, because we might end up, like I say, if it starts raining, we might end up with a couple of vehicles parked here over the weekend. It's called needs must, better than getting stuck. What do you reckon? I'm not going to get underneath that. Can I get under it? And if I get under it enough, I can possibly decant out of it. Into there. And just pull the pan out. Well, that was simple enough. Do I keep you? You're not actually too bad, are you? Lovely, so you got it. Do you know what? Decision made. Now. Not sure if this is going to work. I think the answer is no. Not that way. How about this way? Will that work? Bit too far out in front of it. little bit gently at it. I don't want to bend anything. Dinner. See, I'm all right now, but if I sit down, which I'm going to, sit down and have my dinner, I'm not going to want to get up again. So the thing is with man flu, or whatever this virus bug is I got, it hurts my legs. Okay, it hurts to walk. Okay, yeah, you can give me some sympathy now. I'm suffering. What are you like, eh? What are you like? Yeah, what are you like? Yeah. Well, it is absolutely, without a shadow of doubt, been one of those days today. So, not only have I kind of not really wanted to do anything because I've got the lurgey. I might have mentioned that earlier. Did I mention that earlier? I might have mentioned that earlier. Dave came in earlier to fit that. And as you can see, we're not finished. 3 hours, I think we've spent on this so far. So the toilet was very kindly given to us by not Dave's dad. He'd replaced the loo in his place and said, oh, I got a spare loo, I was going to chuck it out. And I said, if you're chucking it out, what's the point? I'll recycle it and I'll use it again. Right, fantastic. So that has been in the shed down there for a couple of months. Well, we're going to need this weekend. So I said to Dave, we kind of need to get this put in. Right, okay, we'll come and do that. No worries. So he came up, done all the measurements, started the pipe work over there, went and got a load of bits. So went down to our plumbing supplies, got the pipe, got the fittings we needed. No, needed different fittings. So because the fittings on there, because this is an older toilet, were different. Back to the plumbing supplies, take some fittings back, bring some other fittings back here again, put it all together. Yeah, no, that didn't work because the seal on there was gone. I was just going to get a rubber seal, but when I went down to Abbey Plumbing Supplies, they said, actually, do you know what? For the sake of, I think it was 14 quid, this thing, he said, I'll put a new one on there. And I thought, do you know what? This is not in our house. This is outside. There could be periods of time when we might not be in here for days, maybe even weeks. There could be times when we won't be in here for weeks. If that breaks down, the chances of me walking in here and finding the floor underwater, I mean, the first thing I might find is water going out through the door. So yeah, fair price. 14 quid. A new valve to fill the bog back up. So fitted that, no problem. Put some water in there to check the flush. First thing that happened is the rubber seals down there leaked. Wrong seals. So we tried to sort of, not bodge them, but we tried to sort of fix them so they would work so we could check the flush. So we filled the cistern up from a bucket, because we're not actually connected to water yet, from a bucket, filled the cistern up, flush didn't work. And I said to Dave, I don't think there's enough in there. I think you have to kind of, I think we have to sort of prime it. So fill it right up. So we're trying to fill this thing up to check the flush works while everything is dripping out through the seals under here. Dave's getting eggy. Eggy, for those of you that haven't got it, is he's getting annoyed. Getting to the point where he was offering to go and get a sledgehammer and smash this thing up. Anyway, turns out flush didn't work. That wasn't going to work. Back down to the plumbing supplies. Well, Dave's here with a sponge trying to get all this out of here, and I had to go down and get, where's it gone? Oh, there it is. New flush. So basically, if I went out and bought a new toilet from somewhere like Stacks, it probably cost me 100 quid. So I get all that for about 100 quid. That was 28. That was 14. Not sure what that packet there is. But we're kind of, by the time I bought everything else to go with it, all right, some of this pipe I would have put in anyway, we're kind of halfway to a new bog. I mean, it is still cheaper, but if you then add the time it's taken for us to fiddle faff around, and if you work on Dave's hourly rate, I haven't saved a penny. So thank you, not Dave's dad, genuinely, because it was a properly genuine, generous offer, and I appreciate it. But in hindsight, I didn't save anything. It would probably have been cheaper just to buy a new bog. So, because after all that, of course, when we lifted the lid up, there's a bloody crack in this seat as well. Got to put a new seat on it. So, oh, I don't want to get a splinter in a bum, do we? Yeah, the sign's still there. Somebody did message me a week or two back actually and said, do you want a proper sign to go on there? I said, I can have one made for you out of slate. Just tell me what size. And I thought, oh, that's a good idea. I thought, I'll come out, well, probably A4 size, that would do nicely. And then I went back in, and do you think I could find that message? So I don't remember if he WhatsApped it me. I couldn't find it on WhatsApp. On Messenger, I couldn't find it on Messenger. Instagram, I couldn't find it on So if you are that person who offered to send me a slate, one of those, I'm going to take you up and I'm going to say yes please, because I think it'd be funny, and of course it means you will have your mark on it. So, and I don't mind, just put it small in there, just put your name on it, donated by, and we'll stick it on Diddy Squat Bog. Alright, in other news, this morning I was making some space down here because we might have to park a few vehicles out here on the weekend. That's as far as I got, because I spent most of the afternoon running backwards and forwards to the plumbing supplies for David for that bog. Yeah, so on top of not feeling brilliant, and on that note, Mrs. P has been sneaky. I don't do doctors, and as far as I'm concerned, I just got a cold. It's got on my chest a bit, it's making me cough. I don't feel very well, a bit lousy, but I don't need to go to the doctors. She knows that. So do you know what the sneaky mare did? She rang the doctors and then got them to ring me. So I was basically interviewed on the phone, had to go through the symptoms, because I couldn't be rude. So yeah, sneaky mare. Anyway, she's prescribed me some antibiotics, which I probably won't take. Right, I didn't give the cattle a fresh bail yesterday because I decided instead to open these gates down here and let them back out of these paddocks. And they spent most of yesterday and a large part of today out here, and they've been quite happy. And they haven't really, well, they kind of have chewed it off. But compared to out there, as in out there, there's still quite a nibble in here, so I'm not going to give them a bail again tonight. That's 2 bales saved. And when I was out doing the gates, I actually walked down to the bottom field down there, and the grass is, oh, you want to go down? You want me to walk down there? I did tell you I was ill, didn't I? You still want me to go down. Alright, we'll go look at the grass. It's really interesting. You probably noticed I'm scratching a bit for content. It's really because I haven't done that much, and very little on the farm. All this has got to be topped off. Well, that'll be done when the topper comes back. Same as that out there, that'll be done when the topper comes back. Hopefully not too long, because thistle's going to seed. It's nearly too late. Broke at the wrong time, didn't it? So I've not heard back from Class Western yet, but I'm expecting a phone call soon to let me know what's going on, and then we'll crack on with that. Yeah, a bit tight across the diaphragm. So, sorry, that, no, hang on a second, that looked like that yesterday. Got there in the end. So my head's on back to front. You understand. When you've got a man flu, cold, you know, it's near-death experience sometimes, isn't it? Didn't take the cattle long to find me wildlife drinker. Yeah, that is Maine's water. I did a video on that. Was it last year, year before? We've had a couple of really, really dry, horrible, nasty summers, and all the streams have dried up, and there's been nowhere for small wildlife to get a drink. They can't get into the big tanks. So we put this chap down here with the brick and the brick. So birds, hedgehogs, rabbits get their moisture from food really, but any small creatures, even the fox, he can have it. They can come and have a drink on me. So yeah, we got to think about them as well. So nobody wants to be thirsty. Nobody or nothing. This bunch are all hoping that I'm going to go out through there and open the gate. They want to go out there, but it's just a little bit too soon. I need this grass to get a bit further ahead before I let them loose on it, and then I got to decide whether it's let them go or strip graze it. So, questions. So if you remember, my neighbour Eddie was out here 10 days ago putting some fertiliser on here. So, and this is state of play. That's where the grass is. Now that isn't really enough to let the cattle go. We've had some moisture. There's moisture in the ground. Still crumbly though. Not wet wet. Bit of warm sunshine now, which apparently we're going to get probably after the weekend on my luck. And this should get away. So, and once this gets away, as in it's got enough green to gather energy from the sun and get going, then they can come out. Right now, I'm probably better off, to be honest, losing a couple more bales than let them trounce this before it can get in front of them. So this needs to get in front of the cattle. If it's playing catch up, it will just never catch up. So as you can probably see, this is one of their favourite spots to lie. Just come out and lie down. They like it here for some reason. And another favourite spot, if you look at all the poo out there, is down here. They seem to like it in this corner. So there's more grass down that end. Hello boys and girls. You have to wait a bit longer, alright? You're not starving. Oh yeah, big bunch of Marys. And yeah, huh? Yeah, mate. Burgers. You're doing her quite well, aren't you? Nearly time to wean that calf, I think. So, when the calf is getting on not much smaller than the cow, but then she's not looking bad. It's not being dragged out of her. There's no ribs hanging out of her. A few more weeks. We got TB testing in a couple of weeks. I think after that happens, we'll be looking at weaning. Bringing some cattle from there back here and taking some cattle from here back over there, the farm that is, and maybe a bit more exercise for the bull. So yeah, make Patrick happy again. I've got some thinking to do here. This is the boundary of our old tree nursery, and what we've got left on the edge here is a line of beech trees. Now these would have been, when we were selling them and transplanting them, these would have probably been between 5 and 6 foot tall, but we left them here. But that's kind of turned into a bit of waste of space in there. So I'm thinking about maybe putting some fencing around in there, taking this bit of fence down. I'll let the cattle go in first and browse all the bottom branches off and have a good tidy up in there. This might not be this year, mind, this might be next year. have a good tidy up in there, and then decide whether to actually take some of these trees down and put grass back in there, because we need the grass. So, and there is a few logs in there now, you know, not big logs, but yeah. Oh, beech hornbeam. You can tell the hornbeam looks like it's growing hops. It's not. You can't make beer out of that. God, they never make a racket. Basically, they want me to give them another bail now. That's what they want, but they're being idle. It's too much like hard work for them to wander around the place and just browse. They would rather go to the feeder and just munch. So, but right now, I'm quite happy for them to have a wander around. They've got 20 acres to roam on for a minute, and there is enough out there. Doesn't look it, but there is enough out there. Don't forget, these are Dexter cattle. They're not dairy animals that need masses of input. Yeah, these guys would do well on meagre rations. I've had enough. I'm going to go and have a drinky. I'm not doing anything else today. I've had enough. I'll see you tomorrow.